Hello everybody, and welcome back, put that there actually, to Kinlaig. Ooh, nearly crashed that in there. So, we're into June, and there's been a few things happening. Somewhere around here is a... oh. Yes, we're going to repaint it. Yes, we're going to repair it. Oof. And yes, we're going to sell it. Because I've spent a little bit more money on a smaller version. About £7 out of pocket on the deal, but it's the John Deere one. Smaller tank, a lot lighter, and a little bit smaller on the boom. I've also got the cedar, which is great stuff. And been doing a lot of contracts to try and blast down my finances. However, I think I might have just... I think I'm going to be bringing it back up to a silly amount, if I'm honest. But don't worry about that yet. Let me worry about that. I'm going to spend some more money on some things today. At least one thing. I'll show you what's up. I've been doing a lot of bits and bobs actually. I'm trying to remember what happened in the last episode, because it's been a few days. So let's get over to our yard and have a look at what's occurring. I've come to the theory, as much as it would pain me, if something come up in the sale that was a ridiculously good deal, this Unimog could be sacrificed, because as much as I love it, it's not the most sensible things to have at this stage when we've got... that's an agreement, I think. When we've I hope that was recorded. When we've got bugger all money, and you know, farmland would be more useful, wouldn't it, really, for making money. But I've had an idea that I'm going to test out now. If this goes wrong, and that's the episode ruined. It's not. So let's get down here and have a little look-see at what I've been doing. Whee. The grass is growing. Pop this in its place. Oh dear. Out comes that Christmas toy again. Bear with me a moment while I try and quieten this toy down. Right, he's put that... oh, he's put that down, he's picked up a pig. I think he stopped. Okay. We might need the doghouse. Just hold on. Can't you change the dogs? Maybe. Anyway. Where were we? Yes, it's got pulse modulation, but not... I might open that because I might need that. I did have Walter's Stone Crusher thing, but I've come up with a new idea for that. What else have I done? I've got myself a little Karcher to spray stuff down, and I've got a little fuel tank here and a garage, so I can do a bit of repair work myself. I even put a sink in it. Great stuff, I hear you say. And it's got a little bit of thing on there to give it some power, which is great. There's bits that I've done and then took out because I wasn't happy with. I'm forgetting what I've done. Let's just open that as well. I've got a plan I'm going to test. Right, let's go over here first. Been down car booting with Walter. We've both picked up boats for our... That doesn't look right, does it? Let's... get rid of the grass coming through my boat. Because... close enough. Sometimes you might need to go out and... where are the fish? Sometimes you might need to go out and do repairs or get fish out, and it's a bit too far to get into. And why not just stick a boat in for a bit of fun? Got a little table and chairs where we can... It's fallen in. That may as well be. How'd you get out? Yeah, like that. Table and chairs, sit out and have a glass of vino in the evening, and some trees just to pad it around. I don't know if I've shown you the close-up hour. I had to bank everything up slightly on the railway line. Get permission to do that. Some traditional trees that you would find in the UK there. Now, that fish thing's worrying me a little bit, because I have got maybe that was it. Turn them on. Okay, so I've done a Deadwood contract and I brought them over here. Don't worry, because it wasn't far. The contract was just in that forest there. But I have a query. If I collect... Hey, help harvesting work? Spinach. I mean, if they're willing to lend us the gear, we could do it. Spraying, we can definitely do with our new sprayer. And, as always, transport of the wood. Deadwood. If I collect... After moving the deadwood, will it disappear? Because I have one piece that didn't disappear. That's really weird. So some of it did, some of it didn't. Why did some of it go and some of it not? How bizarre. I should have saved it before then, shouldn't I? Anyway, not to worry. I'm now going to nip off to the store to get some materials and bits, and I will be back. These are going to be very overpriced materials and bits, trust me. Right. Time for the test. So I was thinking when I was doing the Deadwood contracts, it's a shame we can't do anything with it. Now, obviously there is things that you can get that, yeah, that's good, that can turn them into other things. Like boards, but it's Deadwood. So you don't really want to... Okay, that's slightly... Oh, it's gone. It's took it. I mean, I might want to tidy that up off camera. Or do it again. Maybe. I'll put a shed up over the top of this workbench, and with this we can make refined wood chips and wood chips. The wood becomes wood chips and premium sawdust, and the wood chips become wood chips, refined wood chips and premium sawdust. What we do from there, I've no idea, but we can. So that, in essence, is the plan. This did cost 35 grand for this setup, so I'm hoping that it will work okay at a certain point. Now let me just rewind a little, come back to you in a moment when this will be neater, and I'll faff around with it as much as I need to. Alright, that took longer than expected. It would appear we've gone back in time, but we've not quite. We have gone back in time, and you're seeing this before what you saw last time. However, oh, that keeps happening. I don't need to show you all through this again because you've seen it, which realistically happens later on. However, I was thinking of what else to do this episode, and I've not been down Walters for a while, but he had weeds in his field, didn't he? This doesn't have an axle that turns like the bigger one does, but then the bigger one was quite a bit of an issue. So I thought let's not do that. Sugar. I didn't want to do that. Not a problem. Need bother, because what I'll do is just unload that there. No, not right at the back. I didn't realise that I'd forgot to save before putting the thing in, so when I came back in it was all the way back to the Deadwood contract, so I had to cut everything and move it down again. However, I did put all the wood in before claiming the contract, which, oh, we've got something already. That is refined wood chips. I'm going to need pallet forks, aren't I? Maybe to move them. I don't know what you do with refined wood chips. I'm yet to find out. But this is a lot neater. I've bolted that to there so it doesn't move too much. Wink, wink, and I did have to pull that out a little bit, but that's fine. Not a problem there at all. That comes out quite far, doesn't it? That might be a bit of an obstacle to navigate around. We'll worry about that at another point. So, let's head to Walter's. There's an interesting drive to take over, which I don't think... Oh, I do like that work with the hoses. That's nice. Has Walter got a... I think he's got some herbicide there. So I've got a couple of tests here to do, because we've not got the See and Spray fitted. I'm going to have to get myself tidied up slowly as I'm moving in. There is something else that I want to... I don't need that either, do I? Because that sudden stopping, it does it going forward sometimes as well. Jitters. This is base game, this vehicle, but it's very annoying. And as much as I love this tractor, it's annoying to the point where I would be tempted in a sale to remove something if that was the case. I'll tell you what, let me just save this quickly before I make an absolute pig there of everything else. I need to pay the bills off. Am I maxed up? Oh dear. I was down to 400 grand. How am I now 70 grand worse off? Oh no, the game crashed. I wasn't 70 grand. That's just something I want to test here. And I want to do a similar test. Did I? Right. Weed control's bad. pH value's not great, but I'm not that bothered about that. Nitrogen, it's grass. That's going to be a problem. But how do I get... tram lines? We've now got 24-metre spread. So the main point is weed control is 15. And that's all over the place there. I don't want to waste it. I'm not really going to get weeds, are we? That's the thing. Got a bit of hail damage though. Anyway. Ignore that, that's by the by. The theory here is that there should be better, because it's so much lighter than the other one, it should be easier to pull. It's a smaller tank and it's a smaller range. We've got weeds in one of Walter's fields, which should be, we're into June now, so they should be ready for a bit of a spray, because they should be bigger. But I'm wondering if we can auto change the tram lines, because obviously the tram lines we put in were 27 metres as opposed to the 24. I guess we'll sort of find out. Oh! Are the horses up and about? How much is a stable? I wonder if we can make someone else stables. I'm literally scratching around trying to do anything that's gonna lower the fees, because episode 30 and I'm still 470 grand in debt, although to be fair we are building up at the minute with vehicles, so, and I did spend 150 grand on, I think it was more than that, wasn't it? About 170 grand on a vehicle I didn't really need. This would be an interesting plot of land to get, wouldn't it? This nice field. If you were building a farm, I think it'd be quite nice to build something down there, right along the riverside. I think that'd be quite cool. Oh, it's got a fence around it, so I'm assuming that is purchasable. I wonder. So yeah, if something small come up for sale, similar horsepower to this, I'd be tempted, in fact. Don't really need a straw blower, there's nothing to do with that. We haven't really got any money in the budget to play with. A trailer would be nice, because that would solve a lot of problems. A flatbed trailer, because that's essentially what the Unimog is. This herbicide, this spray runs at 7 miles an hour, the same as the other one did anyway. So the only difference is we shouldn't struggle too much on the hills. That other one was so big, even the Kubota struggled on it, and that's 200 horsepower. Which is probably up there for the size of this. Ooh, soybeans are coming on nicely. Should we have a little look round now, or a little look round after? I'll have a little look round after, see how Walter's getting on. But let's just check. Oh, actually, let's put his herbicide in. I'm sure there's some herbicide. There is. Ooh, we've been gardening again. Need to move those stones. I have got a plan for those stones, but it's not. I suppose it could possibly be lime. I think I did check. I think the ratio for this other production making lime is really bad. Stopping is really twisting my melon. Fully moved out of the caravan now. That's all chickens. Let's just check his fields, but I want to be right next to him because I want to see if those tram lines automatically move when you reappoint. If it does, that would lead me to believe that you might not lose. I'll tell you what the best way to check will be is to line ourselves up with that. I didn't do that very well, did I? Take 2. Right. Oh, need to be on water, don't we? I think that's moved over slightly, hasn't it? I've got the map on. I'll need that on to double check that crop sensor's on. That doesn't matter on the crop sensor, does it? Let's put that on. 24 meters. Oh, it's not. It's not rear pointed it. And this is not doing the see and spray. This is literally just putting it out as is, which is a bit of a disappointment. It is spraying the weeds though, isn't it? Yeah, it is working. But we will go through a lot more herbicide. So on the basis of that, luckily we've got row crops and narrows on the back, so we're not going to be got row crops on the spray unit, so I'm not going to damage his crops. But what you've got to work out is, are you going to save money in the long run on herbicide if you spend 33 grand putting the spraying bit on? Because the weed control is 21.7. That's quite interesting. Hmm. 21.7 just on this field. Why is it not? Can we not? Why is it not just showing us? It's not showing us the individual field data, which is a bit weird. Is that just going to carry on? No, that's quite clever. Let's try this again. Why is it not allowing me to select to see an actual thing of the field itself? That's really weird. Well, that's got me quite confused, if I'm going to be honest with you. This is literally just going to keep pumping overs like that, which is what it should do. Down to me to pay attention to it, really, isn't it? I think we should be able to do the whole field though with what we've got here, which would be good. I guess we can come over and have a look at what Walter needs to do possibly in the next episode. I mean, he's got stuff to... He'll have stuff to sell. July, I think, is when we're best to get rid of the fish, and I delayed turning mine on, so I won't have any fish to sell. I've got young salmon I might have to sell. I need to get some monies in. Might actually pick up the spinach contracts, actually. Might make sense. Just me using their equipment, but when are you really gonna I think we'll have all this cleared off nicely. You'll be happy with that. And then going forward, we'll just always have this sprayer. So maybe I'll, if I'm flush, I'll pay for the See and Spray. Take 33 grand, is a lot of money. But yes, that did I get this in? It's just that 3 meters less. Yeah, that's the only bit. Yeah, I think we got rid of all his weeds for him. That's good. Good news for Walter. You know what? I'm not going to charge him for it. Which, you know, he's got 500 quid in the bank, so we'll just have a nice cup of tea and a bit of... He'll probably knock us out a bit of a full Scottish breakfast. But that is where we'll leave the episode for today. He's got some bits and bobs to sell. He can have this herbicide back, because he will need it more than we will. I'll do a quick check of his animals for him. He's got fish to sell there next month. See if he wants to buy a Unimog. That will come out at the back, won't it? Near enough. But yes, I do hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, please hit the like button. If you've not subscribed yet, then you're missing out. Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all new content as it becomes available. And if you've got any comments or suggestions going forward, then do feel free to pop them in the comment section. Until the next time, thank you so much for watching, and bye bye for now.